Hey, it's Jordan with Status Coup. Election day in Texas, where anti-choice under FBI investigation, Congressman Henry Cuellar is facing Jessica Cisneros, the progressive. And as I reported yesterday, there seems to be some, shall we say, shadow funding coming in. No fingerprints directly to specific politicians, but people with ties to those politicians dropping in boatloads of money to try and prop up Henry Cuellar. If you missed it yesterday, there was a super PAC that dropped $70,000 just a few days away from the election. America United dropping in $70,000 in support of Henry Cuellar for radio ads. The same America United, whose treasurer is Jorge Nere, a senior advisor to President Biden. Interesting that President Biden, who has chosen not to endorse in this election, has a senior advisor dropping in $70,000 to support the anti-choice candidate, Henry Cuellar. But it gets better. As The Intercept just reported, let's take a look. Silicon Valley billionaires storm into Texas to bail out abortion foe Henry Cuellar. The mainstream Democrats PAC, founded by LinkedIn's Reid Hoffman, has gone all in to protect Henry Cuellar. On May 2nd, Politico reported that the Supreme Court had decided to strike down Roe v. Wade, injecting new urgency into the race between challenger Cisneros, who supports reproductive rights, and Cuellar. That same day, fortunately for Cuellar, Hoffman's Political Action Committee, Mainstream Democrats, dropped its first expenditure for Cuellar with just 3 weeks left in the race, spending $178,000 on mailing to the district using the firm Cisneros Strategies. No relation. A week later, the PAC dropped $64,000 in digital ads and spent more than $500,000 on television ads, bringing their 3-week binge of Cuellar support to more than $750,000. Hoffman, the founder of LinkedIn, says he personally supports the right to abortion, but Cuellar's is among just 2 other Democratic primaries his organization has weighed in on this cycle. The PAC spent $150,000 successfully opposing Nina Turner's bid for Congress against Ohio Rep. Shontel Brown, and $1.5 million in what looks to have been a failed attempt to defend Kurt Schrader in Oregon. Defending an opponent of abortion rights is a challenge in a Democratic primary, especially in the wake of the Supreme Court news. And the Hoffman PAC has squared the circle by suggesting that Cuellar is actually on the right side of the issue. The newest ad warns voters, quote, "With women's rights under attack by extremists, Democrat Henry Cuellar has made it clear he opposes a ban on abortion. Let's send Henry Cuellar back to Congress so he can keep standing up for us." The ad bases the claim on a U.S. News and World Report story written by the Associated Press from May 4th. The article in question, though, is headlined "House Leaders Stick with Congressman Cuellar Despite Abortion Stand." The subheadline hits the same theme. Just a day after Democrats recommitted to protecting abortion rights, a U.S. House leader on Wednesday campaigned in Texas alongside Congressman Cuellar, one of the last anti-abortion Democrats in Congress. So, what's the tie to Hillary Clinton? As I reported before Nina Turner's Shontel Brown's race, Reid Hoffman's Mainstream Democrats PAC dropped in $150,000 in support of Shontel Brown. It was their first expenditure, period. They had created the PAC in February. So their first expenditure was just a few weeks before Nina Turner's race. Who doesn't like Nina Turner? Would that be Hillary Clinton, who literally wouldn't allow her to be on the stage, introduce Bernie Sanders at the 2016 Democratic Convention, who hates Nina Turner because Nina Turner did the brave thing and spurned the Clintons to endorse Bernie Sanders in 2015? Well, what's the connection between Reid Hoffman and Hillary Clinton? The same Reid Hoffman who dumped in $150,000 against Nina Turner and now is dumping in hundreds of thousands for anti-choice Henry Cuellar. Let's take a look at this from Recode. Hoffman had a very different plan on November 8th, 2016. For months, he had been quietly advising Hillary Clinton as the Democratic presidential contender formed her views on technology. In Clinton, Hoffman had found a sharp, seasoned candidate receptive to his ideas, including a desire to rethink U.S. education. And in Hoffman, the former Secretary of State had embraced a walking, talking Rolodex who could connect Democrats to the well-heeled tech types they needed to fund their bid for the White House and eventually support Clinton's administration. By election night, Hoffman figured his work was just beginning. He'd even spoken to Clinton's team about sliding from his loose advisory role during the campaign into some sort of position aiding her expected transition to the presidency. It would have been a powerful perch, affording Hoffman a unique chance to shape and Oval Office by helping to handpick some of the very people who would compose and advise it. To his peers in Silicon Valley, such a move might not have seemed like an incredible upgrade. Others, wary of the stuffy suits of Washington, D.C., the tech industry tends to view its own backyard, however, solipsistically, as much more powerful economic epicenter with the real true power to rewire the whole of the country. So, Reid Hoffman was an advisor to Hillary Clinton's campaign and apparently had a deal with Hillary Clinton to become a high level tech advisor or official in the Clinton administration. Hillary Clinton hates Nina Turner. Reid Hoffman dumps in $150,000 to stop Nina Turner. Hillary Clinton, you would think, champion of women's rights, reproductive rights, wants to prop up Henry Cuellar, wants to stop progressive momentum. You just had Summer Lee's victory in Pennsylvania the other day. John Fetterman, who, might not be a capital P progressive, but definitely more progressive than Conor Lamb. Why would Reid Hoffman suddenly care so much about Southern Texas and propping up anti-choice Henry Cuellar? Why would Reid Hoffman suddenly care so much about Cleveland's 11th district? I don't think it's he who cares. I think it's the Clintons who care. I think that's why Reid Hoffman is dumping in hundreds of thousands of dollars to stop progressive candidates, because there is a unwritten and usually underreported element where shadow endorsements, shadow funding, whether linked to President Biden, whose senior advisor suddenly dumps in 70 grand 4 days before the election between Henry Cuellar and Jessica Cisneros to prop up Henry Cuellar, or Reid Hoffman, BFF of Hillary Clinton, dumping in hundreds of thousands of dollars to stop progressives. This is not going to stop whatever happens between Henry Cuellar and Jessica Cisneros tonight. You're going to have Reid Hoffman and other Silicon Valley, oil, crypto, APAC money flooding the zone to stop progressives. Even if progressives win the primary, I could see them propping up their opponents in the general election. So whatever you think, whoever you're going to vote for, even if you're not involved in this election in South Texas, make no mistake, the Clinton wing and the Clintons are still involved in trying to drop progressives, even if they are not publicly, openly funding the anti-choice, corrupt, under FBI investigation, Henry Cuellar. Thanks for watching, and make sure to tune in to Status Coup's daily live stream Monday through Thursday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time and Fridays at 4 o'clock Eastern Time.